Hello guys, here is Abdullah Zaghlul, a senior software developer, and today's discussion is about the best backend framework for you if you are working as a front-end, backend, or a full stack. Of course, it will be Nitro.js. So the first question here, why should I learn Nitro.js? Because of its own simplicity, organized structure, full functionality, in addition to separation of concern. So what does this mean? Nitro.js can be used alone as a backend server, and it can be used within the full stack frameworks like Nuxt.js and Analog.js. So these frameworks based on at Analog, based on Angular at the front end side, and the back end side is Nitro. And Nuxt.js, the front end is VueJS, and the back end is Nitro. So you can utilize Nitro alone or within these frameworks. In addition to its own simple structure, it can be used as modular and can be used as monolith one. In addition to this, if you open Nuxt supports something called layers for front-end MicroFrontends. So you can split your own app. For example, here, this is the Nuxt approach. You have an app dier and server dier. The app contains all the client side or the front end, and the server is your own backend. And Nuxt layer, meaning that you will have multiple folders. For example, we will create auth folder, and this auth folder can contain app for the front end and can contain server for the backend. And both of those have one config file called NuxtConfig. So the Nitro config here is specific for the backend of this one. So this is how amazing structure here. In addition to this, let's go to discover how Nitro works. Nitro works based on auto import, so no complication here. You doesn't have main.ts file like founded here at Nest.js to bootstrap your own file, and you don't have app module, and you can implement modularity easily. So Nitro have the following Nitro config file. Yeah, you can put the src dier if you plan to change it from server, and you can add scan diers if you plan to use it in a modular way. Every folder should have the following. It have middleware and request response routes utils. What is those? So you can have routes, which is dier based structure, and you can have middleware, which is the global middleware. You doesn't need a kernel here because you can register your global middleware by the order, meaning number one is log, number two is authentication, and the same. And what about specific endpoint middleware? So if we go for this middleware, for this endpoint, for example, you can see that it uses on request and you pass the middleware. This is before request middleware. And after the request, meaning before response, you can pass or alter the response. So I can change the data here and I can put any auth logic here. So it is amazing. It is very simple way. They have routes dier to register your own routes, and they have API also dier. Utils. Utils is auto-imported functions that can be used globally. So you can create containers, doing dependency injection, and along with these things. So you can use Nitro plugins. You can use Awilix. Awilix is a good package to handle your own dependency injection. All what you do is just put your util here, create a util called container, which responsible to create a singleton container. So all what you do here is just pass the name of variable and the class. This will instantiate the instance that you need. So at your own endpoint, you will know everything about the endpoint. You know the middleware, you know the handler here, you can type your code. So if I plan to get the auth user service, all I do, I just get it from this container. Here we go. Where is the container here? It doesn't import it because it is globally there. So once you press npm install, it will create the auto imports needed here. So if we check, so if I open it, here is all the auto imported utils. It have a lot of ready utils to read the body, getting the query params, route params. So this only your own folder structure. Let's go to explore Nitro. Nitro at deployment is agnostic, meaning it supports a lot of runtimes like Node.js, Bun, and Dino. In addition to multiple providers like AWS, Azure, Google, all of these is zero config wells. Let's go for exploring all of it. As I mentioned, server utils and server routes. And you can name the routes with this tire structure, adding your bus params, get or post, or your option param. It supports WebSocket and edge workers out of the box, support server and serverless, key value storage, which is responsible for your caching. As you can see, you can upload files and store it. You can set a key value pair. SQL databases, meaning you can write SQL queries using this util called use database. Here is a cache example with the config and the maximum. You can cache your own routes for better performance. In addition to this, you can cache your own asset. You can cache the featured response. You can add your own plugins. So you can create dependency injection using this way. The complicated tasks. So you can go with this one. You can define your own background tasks. You can define scheduled cron jobs. You can call it programmatically or using CLI. So all things you need is here with a very simple documentation, very simple way. And all functionality of large frameworks like Nuxt.js level is founded here. And you get the simplicity of Express.js, but with organized and good structure. How Nuxt work? So as you can see here, the front end side, here is the back end side, and they call each other using the events. Okay, let's go for endpoint trial. I will give you an example for an endpoint here. So if I go for this one, I will run the following command, npm run dev. I send it. As you can see here, you can see the response here. It is hello from Nitro Modular. So this is our endpoint. So here is the route. Yeah, and here is the index. I utilize this util to get the config and the app name from my env. Another example, at the login endpoint for here, you will check the console logged things. So once I press, yeah, the response has been changed as I need. And here is the console log data. So the log middleware, which is the global one, then the auth middleware, the specific one. Here is the console log at the endpoint, and here is the endpoint itself. As you can see, this example here. So this is the auth request, and simply that's it. Hope everything is working well. If you need anything, please subscribe, like for more. I'm planning to create a crash course for Nitro.js. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.